everyone, my name's Claire and I'm the founder of Basic Tech. I'm passionate about helping people understand and embrace technology. I've had the privilege of working for companies like Google, Apple, Amazon and Electronic Arts, and just like you, I'm also an RFS client. So welcome to the Tech Talk segment of the August RFS newsletter. As a reminder, each month I'll be covering off trending tech topics and sharing tips and tricks to help keep you and your family safe online whilst making the most of the technology that you own. So this month's Tech Talk segment will focus on screen time, and the reason I'm doing that is because Qustodio, a world-leading online safety company, has released a report and has revealed that children aged 10 to 15, and these are Australian children, are spending over 2 hours a day on apps like TikTok. So the report, titled Apps Through the Ages, is based on anonymous app and online tool usage from over 19,000 Australian families, aged between 7 and 18. So the new research reveals how children are interacting with apps over time and how their habits change as they develop with age. Now, the study found that children aged 7 to 9 are spending over 2 hours a day on a game called Roblox. TikTok usage starts as early as 10 years old, when the recommended age is actually 13 for any social media app. And these children aged 10 to 15 are spending around 121 minutes, so 2 hours a day as well. Snapchat is probably the most popular app, and if you have teenagers like me, they use this to communicate with one another from around age 13 to 15. And by 16 to 18, Instagram seems to be the most popular app. Now, if we start adding up the hours that our children and grandchildren are actually spending online, this can be up to 16 hours a day, apparently. So the recommendation is really no more than 2 to 3 hours per day of recreational screen time for ages 13 to 18. So, and even less for people younger than that. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's a challenge for me, and parents that I talk to have the exact same challenges. And in fact, if you look at your own screen time usage, you probably would be surprised at how much you are on your phone during the day too. So I'd like to talk about, firstly, how we can encourage children and grandchildren to limit their screen time, and let's talk about some healthy boundaries and encourage a balanced sort of usage of our phones. So when it comes to children and grandchildren, the first thing to do is really establish clear rules and boundaries and set some limits for both weekdays and weekends, and be very specific about when it's okay to use your phone and when it's not. And of course, use the built-in parental controls such as Apple's Screen Time or Google Family Link. Now, a lot of parents aren't really aware of how these work, and so I will be putting the links to those and how to set them up in the description of this video. And they're honestly great tools for you to manage your own screen time too. So you can also create tech-free zones. So ours is the dinner table and the bedrooms in the evening. So everybody's devices goes into one central location. And this way I know that my teenagers are getting at least 8 to 10 hours of uninterrupted sleep, which is crucial for them at this age. And then, yeah, just model healthy screen time habits yourself. Now, you might find yourself actually speaking to somebody while you're looking at your phone, and just be mindful of that and think about that you might want to give them your full attention, and especially when you're talking to your children or grandchildren. I know it infuriates me. We have a rule in our car. If I'm driving, I always tell my teenagers, I'm not an Uber, so please put the phone away, because I'm not going to be talking, or I'm not going to be driving you anywhere if you're going to be having your head in a phone sitting in the front seat with me. So do whatever works for you, right? Now, I'm just as much to blame, because I will catch myself quickly going onto Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is to go and check out my friends' beautiful holiday pics, for example, and then I find myself a couple of hours later still scrolling through and watching funny cat or puppy videos. I think, oh my goodness, this has really got out of control. I can't remember why I went on the app in the first place. So spending too much time on your phone definitely has some downsides. So we'll just quickly look at those. Things such as obviously increased stress and anxiety, especially in younger people. They have social media comparisons, and those constant notifications are just absolutely infuriating. So I personally have switched all notifications off for any social media, and that includes things like Facebook Messenger. So I have to physically go into the app itself, open it up. I still see my notifications. I'm not going to miss out on them. However, I can actually say that I can look at them when it suits me, right? The next thing is we disrupt our sleep. We procrastinate. We have difficulty focusing. There's reduced creativity. We get sore backs. We get sore eyes. We get sore necks. We don't exercise or go outside as much as we should. So all of these things are really not healthy for us. Now, one that's a big one for me is the overexposure of personal data. So just think, the more time you're spending online, the more personal data is collected by apps and websites, and this increases the risk of data breaches or identity theft. So just think before you post as well, or before you even create a new TikTok or X, Twitter. It used to be Twitter, it's now X account. So we've mentioned cyberbullying and online harassment. Another thing for me is also overspending. You may have something like Temu or Shein or one of those online stores, which a lot of my clients do, and the minimum spend might be $50. And quite often, you may go back into the app and they actually encourage you to spend. They'll discount things, and it really can cause a loss of financial discipline. So let's be mindful of that as well. So some tips for setting some healthy phone habits. So set app limits. So you can use a timer, you can use app timers to gradually reduce the amount of time that you're spending on your phone, right? And on different apps. The next thing is easy one. Use focus or do not disturb modes. Easiest way to stop being interrupted by notifications. Turn off the notifications, just like me, if you would like to. And then, of course, make sure that you're going into the screen time on your iPhone or your iPad, or if you're on Android phone, you can download an app called Digital Wellbeing if it isn't on there already. And be sure to check in there regularly. You'll be surprised at the amount of time you're spending on certain apps. Trust me, I know. And then obviously scheduling some downtime. There's times like a Sunday afternoon when I just put my phone away and I put it on Do Not Disturb. And I really try and be mindful of the time that I'm spending with people that I care about, and not trying to go into my devices at that time. So as I mentioned previously, in the description for the YouTube video, I'm going to give you the instructions on how to set up screen time for both yourself and your children or grandchildren if you'd like to, and the same thing for your Android phone. As always, if you have any questions at all, please email me on claire@basictech.com.au, or you are welcome to join our Facebook group. It's a private group, so you'll have to ask for permission to join, and that will help you find tips and tricks every single day. I place some tips and tricks in the group, and you can get some help that way too. So hope to see you there soon, and otherwise I'll see you next month.